Good evening once again, and welcome to another empowering section of our Wednesday Creative Living series. It's always an honor to gather here in a space where we explore the principles that shape our lives and uplift our spirit. Everything we do here is about this principle, it's about this truth. Each week we come together to nurture the aspects of our life that allow us to live more fully with creativity, purpose, and joy. We're wanting to be more because we have been created for more. And we know we can do more through the power that is at work with us. Today we are diving into a topic that touches every heart and soul: joy. Joy, joy, joy. And what is joy? Joy is one of the most powerful and transformative emotions we can experience. It's more than just a fleeting moment of happiness. It's deep. It's an abiding sense of contentment and fulfillment. And sometimes when we talk about joy, we mistake it for happiness. And what is with happiness? Happiness depends on external circumstances. Joy comes from within. It is a wellspring of light, energy, and peace that we can access regardless of the challenges we face. So today's lesson is an invitation for us to explore this joy, not as something that happens to us, but as something we actively cultivate and we can embody in our daily activities. We'll be wondering, is that possible to experience joy 24/7? Yes, it is possible. And before we go into details, I'd like us to have a moment to center ourselves and start with an affirmation. Joy flows through every fiber of my being. I embrace each moment with gratitude and light, knowing that joy is my natural state of existence. I create joy within, and it reflects in every area of my life. We've come to know through this teaching, through our lessons, that our words are powerful. Our declarations, our affirmations are powerful. And we know thoughts are things, and our thoughts are creative. So I'll read this affirmation again. Joy flows through every fiber of my being. I embrace each moment with gratitude and light, knowing that joy is my natural state of existence. I create joy within, and it reflects in every area of my life. Okay, so let's go into the lesson. Joy, like I said, is often confused with happiness, but the two are quite different. Happiness is usually tied to external conditions. Example, when you win a prize, you receive good news, or experience a fun event. You're happy when these things happen. It's reactive, meaning it's something we feel in response to something that happens to us. On the other hand, joy is internal. It's unshaken by the world's ups and downs. The external world may seem filled with chaos and unpredictability. These events often leave us feeling overwhelmed and anxious. But with joy, it's something that transcends all of these circumstances. So you can be facing the challenge and you're joyful because it's deep within, at the center of our being. Joy remains steady even during difficult times because it acts like an anchor. It grants us and gives us strength to navigate challenges without losing hope. It's so deep within, at the center of our being. It's a way of life. It's not affected by what happens on the outside. Whether you are excited, whether it's a good news, whether it's a challenging news, a bad news, joy is not affected by that. So how do we tap into this wellspring of joy? How do we make sure we understand what joy is and always go within to pull it up? In times of uncertainty, whether we face personal struggles, natural disasters, wars, any challenge, that's actually time when we want to pull on that joy that we have within. So some key practices that lead us towards a more joyful life. What do we do to attract more joy? What do we do to experience more joy in our life? And the first thing is for us to cultivate gratitude. And we say that gratitude is a gateway to joy. If we want to experience joy 24/7, then we have to be grateful. When we cultivate a grateful heart, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we have. We shift our focus from the negative to the positive. We are grateful. This opens the door to joy because it allows us to appreciate the beauty in every day. The small moments that often go unnoticed. How does this work? It's about acknowledging the goodness of life. Whether it's the warmth of the sun on your face, instead of seeing it as scorching your face, you're appreciating nature. The kindness of a friend, the smile of a stranger, or even the comfort of a familiar routine. And you do not take it for granted, you're just appreciative of it. When we practice gratitude, we tell the universe, I am aware of and thankful for the abundance in my life. In response, the universe sends us more to be grateful for. I say this again. When we practice gratitude, we're telling the universe we are aware and we are thankful for the abundance in our life. And when we do this from a grateful heart, the universe sends us more to be grateful for. So we can even say that if you want to multiply anything, begin to be grateful for that. I have a little practice here, daily gratitude practice. Start your day by writing down 3 things you are grateful for. And decide to start it tomorrow. Just 3 or 5 things you are grateful for. This simple practice sets the tone for the day, helping you focus on the positives rather than the negatives. There will be so many things that you're not happy with, but we want to focus on the things that we are grateful, happy for. And when we feel the totality of our being with this, it sets the tone for the day. Over time, you will notice that the habit fosters a sense of joy that is not dependent on external events, but on a mindset of appreciation. I have a beautiful quote here by Melody Beattie. Gratitude turns what we have not into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, and confusion into clarity. It makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. It's time for us to be grateful for the little things. Begin to notice the little things and be grateful for it. When we practice gratitude, we create a space in our hearts for joy to flourish. Instead of being overtaken by all the things happening around, we may want to begin to be grateful for life, for waking up, for food. That we can smell things, perceive things, the little things we take for granted. Every moment becomes an opportunity to recognize the blessings in our lives. That recognition is the seed which joy grows. What things are you grateful for? Maybe when we ask these questions, we begin to list the big things. But there's so many things that we take for granted. That you're cooking and you can smell that the food is burning. Is what being grateful for. That means your sense of smell is active. Another way of creating joy is by living with intention. One of the greatest sources of joy is living a life that's aligned with your purpose and values. And that is why we always ask ourselves this question: what have you come here to be? Because we want us to understand purpose. When you understand purpose, then you begin to walk towards it. What have you come here to be? That's a question that we'll always want to ask ourselves. Are you a being of love, light, and truth, contributing to the world's evolution and expansion of consciousness? Again, what have you come here to be? Do you share love? Do you share light? Do you share truth? When we live with intention, we make conscious choices about how we spend our time, our energy, and our attention. Because we understand purpose, we understand what we have come here to be. And any other thing that is taking us off that road, that direction, we nip it in the bud. And when we focus on our purpose, that's an avenue for joy to thrive. We focus on what truly matters. Because we know what we have come here to do, it's easy to spot distractions from a distance. And living with purpose doesn't mean you need to have everything in your life completely figured out. No. It means that you wake up each day with a sense of direction, a desire to contribute, to grow, and to experience life in a meaningful way. What have you come here to be? Any time we are aligned with our purpose, there's so much fulfillment, joy that comes with that. So whether through your work, relationships, or creative pursuits, joy naturally arises when you align your actions with your deeper values. Most times people express so much joy and fulfillment when they understand their assignment and are working to fulfill that purpose, that assignment. Example, think about when you were fully immersed in a project or activity you cared deeply about. In those moments, time seemed to disappear and you felt a sense of flow and fulfillment. And that is joy of living with intention, doing things that resonate with your soul. You're doing something and you enjoy it so much and you find so much fulfillment. And before you know it, you do not even know you spend so much time doing it because you enjoy it. So when you align with your daily actions, with your deepest values, joy becomes an integral part of your journey. We're talking about how we can create joy every day. Is it possible to be joyful every day, 24/7? Yes, it is. Another way of creating this, being joyful, is by practicing mindfulness. Being fully present in the moment without a judgment or distraction. Remember, we are all practitioners. We're always practicing to see the good. Even when we deviate, we retrace our steps and we get back and keep our focus on the good and looking out for the good. And in a world constantly pulling us in different directions, mindfulness brings us back to the here and now. We want to come to that place where we'll speak to ourselves, be here now. You're alone, but you're distracted. You're thinking about things that will happen tomorrow, the worries, how I'm going to accomplish this, how I'm going to do this, the mistakes of the past. You speak to yourself, be here now. Mindfulness brings us to here and now. Be here now. Feel yourself, be here now. It brings us back to the center of our being. And like Louise said, deep at the center of our being is an infinite well of love, of peace, of creative power, of courage, of wisdom, of joy, gratitude, compassion, and purpose deep within you. And we recognize this when we come, gather ourselves, and be present. Joy cannot exist in the past or in the future. It is only found in the present moment. So when you find yourself worrying too much, tap yourself and tell yourself, be here now, be here now. Do not worry. Do not create unnecessary blood pressure for yourself. Be here now. I am here now. Smell. Feel your breathing. Be here. Breathe in, breathe out. When we are fully engaged in what we are doing, whether sipping a cup of tea or walking in nature, we allow ourselves to experience the richness of life. When we dwell on the past, whether reminiscing about happy memories or regretting mistakes or worry about the future, we disconnect from the present moment where joy naturally arises. We are humans. It's bound to happen. There are things that we worry about. But each time we catch ourselves, tap yourself and say, speak to yourself, be here now, be present, be grateful. Being present allows us to appreciate life as it unfolds and notice the beauty and goodness often missed when we are mentally elsewhere. Again, what mindfulness does, it helps us to slow down and notice the small details we often overlook. in the busyness of the life. Sometimes we need to just slow down. Sometimes we just have to tell ourselves to sit down, calm down, let your 2 feet be on the floor, on the ground, and just be calm. Give yourself that moment to calm down. There's so much that happens when we calm down. The scripture says, be still and know. When you calm down, you're able to observe. Example, imagine sitting by a window watching the rain fall. Instead of thinking about your to-do list or worrying about the future, you simply observe the raindrops, the sound, and the freshness in the air. Even if it's counting the raindrops that you see, it's refreshing. Those are times when we calm down, solutions to challenges or problems will begin to come to the fore. In that moment of stillness, you are fully present, and within that presence, joy arises. You know, when we have this joy within, it's an ambience for so much to happen. Peace of mind, for health, for insight. So much happens when we are calm. The more we are present, the more joy we can experience. It begins to flow like a river. Joy like a river, joy like a river. It flows. And as it's flowing, it comes with all its goodies. Health. Another one of the profound sources of joy, we're talking about creating joy, is in our relationships with friends, maybe family, and the community around us. Integral to our mission statement is we want to create community, people of like mind. When you share your story, I share my story, we encourage to keep striving, knowing that through the process of life, only good would come to us. Humans are wired for connection. When we do that, we foster a deep, meaningful relationship. And what it does, it opens the door for greater joy. Love in all its forms, whichever familial, romantic, or platonic, can bring immense joy into our life. The scripture says, that's why we always talk about community, iron sharpens iron. When you are in the gathering of like people, you're encouraged to keep holding on, not to give up. Because when you hear the demonstrations another one person shares, and you encourage, if he or she can do this, I can. Because we all want. This wisdom illustrates the power of community and the positive impact of being in the company of others who inspire you, challenge you, and uplift you. When we surround ourselves with like-minded people, those where we have the same values, goals, and mindsets, we enhance our growth and creativity and joy. We grow stronger, we are sharper and more joyful in the presence of those who reflect and encourage our best selves. Again, when we give and receive love, what we do is that we tap into the very essence of what it means to be human. We want to in our own ways, whichever kind of relationship, to nurture the relationships that bring joy to us. And when we do this, we just find out that we are able to be more creative. We are free to be ourselves and vulnerable. And at that state, joy and creativity thrive. The love we give is returned to us, often in ways we don't expect it. And this exchange creates continuous flow of joy. Again, it might seem surprising, but joy isn't only found in times of happiness or comfort. Some of the most profound experiences of joy come during adversity, when we are forced to confront our fears, the limitations and challenges. So if you want to experience joy, we don't want to shy away from that hurdle, from that challenge. Because like we said earlier, at the other end of adversity or challenge, it's abundance, it's peace, it's joy. So we want to rise above adversity and face it with a knowing that the universe is backing us 24/7. When we face challenges, whether they be personal, professional, or relational, we are given the opportunity to grow. Because we also know that it's not working against us. Everything is working for our good. I want to have this mindset. I want to have a mindset of victory, not in some things, not in a few things, in all things. Because whatever is negative, bad, is not God ordained. And we want to also know that any adversity, challenge, problem is not there to kill us. It's there to bring us to a higher level, an enlarged place. So each challenge invites us to become stronger, more compassionate, and more connected to our inner strength. So anytime you see a challenge, just look at the other end of it is strength, is empowerment, is abundance. Joy doesn't deny the existence of suffering, rather it transcends it, finding light even in the darkest moments. Again, that is what we do as practitioners. Think of someone you know who has faced great challenges, a health crisis, loss, or personal setback, and yet they carry a sense of peace and joy within them. We want to come to a place, a time, a place where we tell ourselves that I know that I know that I know, convinced about the outcome of any situation. And what is that outcome? Only good. When people go through challenges, they have learned to cultivate joy despite the challenge. Because they trust the process of life that is unfolding perfectly for their good. Again, joy is not a fair weather friend, but a companion through all seasons of life. It's there to be with you. It's deep at the center of your being. I have a little story here. The story of Sarah. Sarah was in her late 30s, living in a busy city and juggling a demanding job, personal responsibilities, and the expectations of those around her. On the outside, for Sarah, her life seemed successful. She had a stable career, a good home, supportive friends. Everything looked rosy, good. But inside, Sarah felt something was missing. She often found herself feeling drained, tired, and overwhelmed. She couldn't remember the last time she truly felt joy. But on the outside, everything looked good. One day, after a particularly exhausting week, Sarah visited her grandmother in the quiet countryside. Her grandmother, who had lived through hardship in life, from financial struggles to personal loss, always seemed at peace. She exuded joy that Sarah had admired but never truly understood. During her visit, Sarah sat down with her grandmother over tea, and after venting about her stressful life, she asked, "How do you stay so joyful, Grandma? You've been through so much, yet you always seem content." Her grandmother smiled warmly and said, "Joy isn't something that comes from having everything go right. It's something you find in small moments, the everyday blessings most people overlook." Sarah looked confused, "But I don't have time to notice those things. I'm always rushing, and everything feels so chaotic." Her grandmother paused, then gently took her hand. "Let me tell you a story," she said. She told Sarah about a time when she was younger, raising 5 children while her husband was working 2 jobs to make ends meet. Money was tight, and every day felt like a struggle to keep everything together. But one day something shifted. Instead of focusing on the stress and the never-ending to-do list, she started paying attention to the little things around her that brought her small moments of joy. Before I continue, what are those little things that we are overlooking in our own life? Her grandmother, I started noticing the simple things. Her grandmother continued, the way the sunlight streamed through the kitchen window in the morning, the laughter of the children as they played, the smell of fresh baking in the oven. And I realized joy doesn't have to come from big, exciting events. It's always there, waiting to be noticed in the small details of life. The joy has always been there, waiting for you and I to notice it. Her grandmother's words resonated deeply with Sarah. We get so busy. We just wake up, go to work, come back stressed out, traffic, get back home, tired, sleep, and we are stressed out. But there are little things that can calm us down. Little things that we despise. So this story reminds us that joy doesn't come from external accomplishments, wealth, or the absence of stress. Instead, joy is found in the present moment, in the small details of life we often overlook. The small details. Like I said earlier, it keeps coming to mind. The fact that you can smell, we take it for granted. Can be grateful for that. So whether it's the feeling of sunshine on your skin, the laughter of a friend, or the taste of a homemade meal, these small moments add up to create a life filled with joy. If we are willing to slow down and notice them. If we are willing to slow down and observe. If we are willing to be still and know. The little things that we do to look in the mirror and you can see your face and you can smile. You can even appreciate the wrinkles that you take for granted. We can all find joy in the little things during challenging times. The key is to cultivate awareness and gratitude for the beauty of the present moment, no matter what is going on around us. So as we conclude today's section, remember that joy is a choice. It's your decision. You can decide to be grateful, to appreciate the little things. It's our decision to slow down, to pause. It's something that happens to us. It's not something that happens to us, rather, it's something we create and cultivate in our lives. In every moment, we have the power to choose joy. Yes, you have. You have the power to slow down and appreciate the little things. It's a daily practice, a way of living that allows us to see the beauty, wonder, and abundance that surrounds us. It's all over the place. By choosing joy, what we do is that we elevate our lives and those around us. We're spreading light and positivity wherever we go. Think about joy, like the song, Joy Like a River. And it comes with all the goodies. Joy can always be found if we open to seeing it in the simplicity of life's everyday moments. Remember, as students of this teaching, practitioners, we're practicing always to see the good, because there's good everywhere. So, can we have joy every day? Yet it's possible. It's your decision. It's your choice. And we want to practice having joy, experiencing joy every day. It's very possible. Thank you for listening, and so it is.